Hello and welcome to the Cubbears fan report for the 17th of April 2024. There's still some things to report even though I reported yesterday. Let's talk a little bit more about the look back at the Bears' loss on Sunday night. Now keep in mind they lost to a good Houston team, and Caleb Williams did not look good because he was running for his life. Everybody was talking about how the Bears were loaded. This is the first time a first pick in the draft has gone to such a good team. The Bears did not earn the pick. They got it from Carolina, and there's more to report about Carolina as well. Let's look at this number. He dropped back 42 times. He was pressured 36 times. The Bears played like a team that lost all their games last year and were desperate to find help and earned that pick. And that's not what we wanted to see. They were loaded at receiver, but they're not loaded at the line. I was arguing to keep Justin Fields and rebuild or further build the offensive line, but the offensive line did not play well. When you give up 36 pressures out of 42, you can't expect Caleb Williams to shine. I mean, I'm amazed he was not injured. I'm amazed Tyson Bagent wasn't put in there to take all that heat. Because that's what they were talking about when McMahon was the Bears quarterback. They put Bob Avellini in just to protect McMahon at one point back in like 1981 or something like that. Those of you who are old like me might remember that season, the Bob Avellini years. But in any case, that's what it looked like because they were pummeled. I got all kinds of pictures, and at one point Chris Collinsworth explained the frustration that DJ Moore had as he ripped his helmet off on the sideline because Caleb Williams could not hit him on the sideline when he was open. Well, you can't expect him to hit you when he is running for his life. So I got a lot of nice pictures of him getting sacked on my montage this morning. This broadcast is still brought to you by Robin Hood Brewery, even though I don't have their picture in there. There were too many pictures of the Bears struggling. But speaking of not struggling, the Cubs did not struggle yesterday as Imanaga won the game, and the Cubs won 9-2, and he's now 14-3. He's been a shiner for the Cubs. He has shined all season. He did give up some home runs though, and Dansby Swanson hit a home run, and that was quite the home run because it was just floating up in the air. It took a long time for it to come down. Finally, the left fielder camped underneath it and bow, into the basket. If there wasn't a basket there, it would not have been a home run. It would have been a flyout. So that got the Cubs going, and the Cubs are still in the playoff race. 5 games behind the Mets as the Braves lost yesterday, and the Mets are playing today. And it's up to the Cubs to make up 5 games against the Mets. And the Mets have an easy opponent, but so do the Cubs. And 5 games back, about 10 or 11 games to go. And the Cubs need to keep winning. Wicks goes tonight against the A's. The A's are one of the worst teams in the league as far as I can tell. But they fought. But another interesting news, Bryce Young was benched by Carolina. The big reason the Bears have DJ Moore and actually have Caleb Williams is because Carolina wanted Bryce Young, but now they're going under the idea that Bryce Young needs to develop a little bit more. And Andy Dalton, the former Bear, is starting. Speaking of former Bears, Darnell Mooney factored heavily in the Falcons' win over the Eagles, the Battle of the Birds, as they call it. But I remember back to when Jay Cutler came to the Bears. The Bears did not invest anything in their running game, and they put it all on Jay Cutler's shoulders, and he struggled for a little bit until they got some runners. And you can't put it all on the quarterback's shoulders. You need to have a running game, but you need to build the offensive line. I was arguing last spring to keep Justin Fields so they can rebuild the rest of the team, like the offensive line. And they didn't draft a prominent left tackle. Instead, we're stuck with Braxton Jones, who is getting better, but he's a project left tackle, and most teams that do well with their high-profile quarterbacks have an all-pro left tackle, not a fifth-round pick from Utah State or wherever he was. So Braxton Jones is still a project. They need to have better than projects. Otherwise, you can't call Caleb Williams a failure. This is the reason Justin Fields didn't pan out. They didn't have an offensive line to protect him. They didn't have a good offensive coordinator either. It takes a whole team. If you're going to play like a team that went 0-17, then don't draft a quarterback because it's not what everybody says. Yeah, they got 3 great receivers, but they needed a tackle. Now, I'm not complaining about drafting Caleb Williams as much as I'm complaining about Roma Dunze. As much as I like that guy, and he did get some nice catches, he did drop a potential touchdown pass also. So, this is the Cubbears fan report for the 17th of September. This is Mark Bertman, your Cubbear fan reporter. Please like and subscribe. Support my sponsor, Robin Hood Brewery, Table 127, also in Iuka, Mississippi, and Taylor's Place in Burnsville. It's interesting because the Bears got a good performance out of Darrell Taylor against the Titans, who they traded for, and he was in the game, and the Bears defense looked really good, but you got to have some offense too. And you can't rely on Caleb Williams if he can't spend time in the pocket. You should not be pressured 36 out of 42 times. Cubbear fan report for September the 17th. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.